So in this tutorial, we're going to create this awesome but simple progress bar using JavaScript and a little bit of PHP. So here I'm going to choose a file that can be video, image, or whatever you want. So for example, I choose this picture, and after that here, I'm going to press the upload button. Whenever I press the upload button, just look at this div that I defined here. So I'm going to press the upload, and you see this awesome progress bar that's loading. So let's create a div, but before we start writing codes, make sure to subscribe my channel for more videos just like this one. So here I have wrote the codes for that application. I want to delete it and write it from scratch. So here I'm gonna create an index.html file. So this is the index.html file. So I'm gonna say index.html, and after that here we need to get data from the user. We need a form, so I'm gonna say form, and this form is going to have no action, and its ID is going to be upload form, and we wanted to give it a class of form, and we didn't need that. So after that we need an input type to the enable user to choose a file. So I'm gonna give it a name of the file to be accessible using the PHP, and an ID of the file to be easily accessible using JavaScript. And we need an input type of the submit, so we can submit what the user wants to submit as, and we wanted to give it a value of upload. So and now go to the browser, look how our web page is looking like. It's looking like this. Here I'm gonna came, and for that progress bar we need a div, so I'm gonna say div, and we want to give it a class of progress bar, and inside this progress bar we need some other div, so I'm gonna say div, and we need a progress with the ID of the progress, so progress. And inside this we define an span, so I'm going to say span, and I'm just only give it an ID of counter. So save it, and now we are going to write its CSS, but before we start writing CSS, make sure to link it. So I'm going to say link style.css. So let's create this style.css. I'm going to come here and create that style.css. And inside this, first of all, we need to access the progress bar. So I'm going to say progress bar, and inside this we're going to give it a width of 300 pixel and a height of just 30 pixel, and we want to give it a border too. Its border is going to be solid and 2 pixel, and also its color is going to be green. That's fine. So now we want to refresh it and see if exactly everything is fine. Yes, everything is fine. We are connected to the CSS, and after that we point out to the progress class, and the progress to itself move, and it's going to have the width of 25%, the 25% of this 300 pixel, and we want to give it a height of it, which its height should be exactly as the progress bar is. So I'm going to give it 100 width height, and we wanted to give it a background color, so I'm going to say background color, and its background color is going to be gray. That will look good. So now I refresh it, and this is looking like this. We don't have anything in a span, so just static. I'm gonna pass a static data here for now. For example, 30%. Actually, this was per 30. 25. I'm gonna pass it 25. So we will change it using JavaScript. Don't worry about that. Now, to upload a file, we need a server-side language like PHP or a framework like Node. So we are using PHP here. So I'm going to create a PHP here. I'm going to call that PHP as upload.php. So, And this to upload a file, we have a function called move uploaded file. Let me first open up the PHP tag. So I'm going to say PHP, and inside this we're going to say move uploaded file. And this move uploaded file needs two parameters. The first parameter is the temporary destination of the file. So we wanted to have access to this file that uploads using the user, which its name is file. We can pass the file here, so I'm going to say file, and we want to get its temporary destination. So I'm going to say tmp name, and after that, as a second parameter, we choose that where we wanted to upload this file. So for example, in this image folder that we want to upload that, so I'm going to say image / and concatenated with, as you know, the concatenation is a dot in PHP, and get the file name itself. So I'm going to say $_file, and we're gonna get the name of the file. So I'm going to say name, and we have to put the semicolon, else it's going to give us an error. And after that, refresh it to see nothing is not wrong here. There we go, nothing is not wrong. So let's create its fun part, which is JavaScript. So I'm going to say script.js, and make sure to link it with the JavaScript. At the end, I came here and say a script, and its name is script.js. So now we have to access to HTML, each HTML element that we defined here. So the first one is, let me bring it here, and I'm going to say const, save this one too. Here I'm going to come and say const, which is constant. It stands for constant. If you didn't know about the const, I have tutorial about this in my JavaScript tutorial. You can go ahead and watch that, ES6 actually. So we're going to call that upload file, upload form, and we're going to access it using its ID. So I'm going to say document.getElement by ID, and its ID was upload form. And we need to do the same for some other, the file itself. The second one, the third one is actually the progress. So I'm going to say progress, and the last one is the counter. So we need to change its name too. This one is file, this one is progress, and the last one is counter. So I'm going to say counter. So after that we have access to all these things, JavaScript, HTML by default, whenever you're going to submit this data, it's going to refer to the PHP and try to submit this form. But we don't want to HTML do it by itself. We wanted to change it using JavaScript. So here I'm going to come and say upload form, and add an event listener to it, and its event listener is the submit. So I'm going to say submit, and we wanted to prevent its default, so I'm going to define a function here, and it's going to get an event, and for using this event we want to prevent its default. So I'm going to say prevent default, and this is a method. So after that we wanted to use the AJAX here, so I'm going to say const xhr and assign it to the new XML HTTP request. I feel too lazy to type this XML HTTP request. So after this here I'm gonna come and let me think what we should do here. Then we want to send the PHP here, so I'm gonna say xhr dot dot open up this request, and using this we wanted to post the HTML, so I'm gonna the PHP, so I'm gonna say upload dot PHP. Why it came here? So, and after that here, let me write this first, then I will explain. XHR dot upload, it's a property of the XML HTTP request, and from this we want to add an event listener to it, and this event listener is going to happen in a progress, and this progress is the main thing in our application. So here I'm going to say function and pass an event here, not event, and from here we wanted to say console dot log and pass the event here. So what happened here? Here we have accessed a property here called upload, and this upload is going to give us access to some important things that we need to, and we added an event listener to it, and the event listener is going to happen on a progress events, and just console.log what we need here. So after that here I'm gonna come and say xhr dot set header request, a set request header. And if you are familiar with the node, you understand what exactly I write here. So I'm gonna say wanted to send content type, and it's multi-part multiple / form hyphen data. So I told you about don't worry about the multiple part that we didn't set to the function, because this is not going to work if you didn't pass the this multiple form part, but we set it using JavaScript, so nothing is null with. So again I'm going to come and say xhr, and now it's time to send it out. So I'm going to say send, and what we wanted to send the new form data that we sent. So I'm going to say form data, and what's those form data? Those are stored in an uploaded form. So I'm going to come here and pass the upload form. So now everything is fine. I hope so. So I'm gonna come and refresh it, and we're gonna go here and choose a file to we can see some progress that happened here. We are going to use it by ourselves. I'm gonna press open and press open it here, and you see that here a progress happened, the progress that the file is going to be uploaded. So something is wrong here. What's wrong here? I didn't think anything is wrong. Let's write it, and if there was something, we will write its code. So here we have the progress events. We need something here, the loaded value and the total value, which is here. If we divide these two by each other, we can get the percentage of the progress. So here I came and get over of the console.log, and what we are going to write here is to divide those. So I'm going to come here and write an if statement, and also sometimes JavaScript is not able to count the length of capable, and sometimes it return false for you. So in this case we are going to check for that. So here I'm going to come and say if an event dot length capable, and after that here if it was true and return as true, the program is going to work, and we can count the progress. So after that here I'm going to come and declare a variable, call it percentage, and assign it to the event dot to access this load property. We're going to say event dot load, because this is in and the event, it's event property, and actually we wanted to divide it with a total. So I'm going to say e dot event dot total, and this is going to return a number. And if you are familiar a few with the math, if you are going to divide two numbers by each other and multiply it by 100, that is going to return the percentage of that number. So I'm going to multiply it by 100 here. So I'm going to say 100. Now we solved the most hardest part of the program. After that here, and we want to progress this according to this value which we are giving using this operation that we did here. So I'm going to come here, and here what we're going to do, we're going to say progress dot style. In a progress, if you didn't know about the progress, is the progress, and this div with the background of gray is the progress. So I'm going to say progress dot style, and we wanted to change its width. So I'm going to say width and assign it to the percentage and concatenate it with this. If you didn't pass this in CSS, you know that it's not going to work for you. And we wanted to change the counter too, so I'm going to say counter.innerHTML and assign it to the percentage. We are just going to copy this, copy, and paste it down here. Paste, save it, go to the browser, refresh, and choose a file. Oh, it's not working. It's working actually. That was loaded. I told you about that. So here I'm gonna I'm gonna select this picture and click on OK. Then we're gonna press the upload. Oh, there we go. It's looking like this. But if you see here, the progress is started from here. So we want to change it from the style. Here I'm gonna come and set it to the 0. And also we're going to change, actually we have to save this, and we're gonna go here and change it from here to 0, 2. So now save it and actually refresh it, choose another file. Why it didn't change? So my computer is crazy right now. It happened before too, but it's going to work for you. Don't worry about that. It will work for you perfectly, but I don't know why I didn't change it to the 0. It will work for you. I don't know why it didn't work sometimes for me. Now I choose a file and select this one and press on open, and then press on upload. And these numbers are a few crazy. We want to round it, and it will not work as the same as I did, because it will set, it says what it's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's by default set to online, and it's going to upload that so fastly for you. If you wanted to change it, set it to slow 3G, and we are going to round it, then ended up our program. So I'm going to come and use the math object here, math.round, and round it using the math object, close it off, then copy this, copy, and can paste it down here, open up its parentheses, save it, go to the browser, actually refresh it again, and choose another file. Come on. Yeah, there we go. It's working now. I'd say that my computer is a few fool now. So I'm gonna select this image again, this one actually, and press on upload. There we go, it's working. So this was from this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy and understand something, and you can use it in your real program. So bye, take care.